Welcome to Apex Infobot. By now, you might have touched a little bit on the solos mode that is currently going on in Apex, and you either love it or you hate it. But if you want to give it a little bit more time and want to get a little better at it, I've got a few tips for you. Because at first, I didn't like it either. I didn't like how it went down so fast, and I didn't like how everybody seemed to just kind of kick my butt. But after, making a few adjustments to my play style, where I was used to having a squad and having a team, then now I'm starting to get some of those solo dubs. So I've decided to try and share some of my information with you. When you go into the Iron Crown solo mode, there's a few things you need to keep in mind, although they seem pretty obvious. One, you're by yourself, so pick yourself a selfish legend. Mirage, Pathfinder, Caustic, Watson, all those guys seem to work really well. Lifeline, Bangalore, really just about every legend works pretty decently, but there are other legends that, in my opinion, work more for you because it's just you out there. Like, for example, I used to main Wraith, and in my squads, that's what I would usually run, but ever since I've been playing some solos, I find myself playing Mirage or Bangalore more often. Bangalore offers a better escape than what Wraith does because it's just you and that other guy. So if he's shooting you and you try and phase out, he's just going to chase your tail and then shoot you. You're not really going to have a lot of space to reposition or really get out of dodge per se. But with Bangalore, you've got two smokes. You can get out a little bit more. She also has an ult that can kind of stop people or keep people when they're trying to come in from the ring. So it's pretty useful. My favorite to use so far has been Mirage. I love the decoy and I love being able to go invisible. It's basically like you poofing away with Wraith, except for you're invisible and it lasts a little bit longer. So, really it's up to you. And obviously, if you're a sniper or you want that height advantage, then you're going to go with Pathfinder. If you want to kind of hide and camp like, half of the queue is going to do anyways, then you're probably going to want to go with a trap operator, which would be either Caustic or Watson. You want to pick somebody that's good for you and doesn't take you too far out of your playstyle, but at the same time, you do need to be aware of what's going to be out there. So once you've picked your preferred operator, we need to talk about weapons. Obviously, rate of fire is the name of the game here. With an R99, you're going to take anybody out. Alternated with disruptor rounds, definitely a good go. If you can snipe, then by all means, grab yourself a longbow, get yourself up on a perch, and take some people out. Or maybe with the triple take, with the precision choke, because the bullets don't drop off as quickly. That too is pretty useful. But if you can't snipe for half of anything, I promise you, there's going to be a guy on the mountain near you who can snipe. So it's probably smart for you to stick close to your playstyle. Me personally, I'm not a very good sniper, so you're not going to see me holding up somewhere trying to snipe everybody as they run through. Now you could create some traps and get some free kills that way if you want to. Set a box up. If you can ever find a box, then set a perch up and then just lure people in with that purple or gold box and maybe get some free kills that way if you just really want to push sniping. Otherwise, do you. But you need to fix your mentality. Whenever you get into a gunfight, at least for me, whenever I would get into a gunfight, if I would lose my shields, then I would try and run away and reposition. Because I've got two other people, typically in my squad, who's going to come and, distract the enemy while I come around and heal. That's not how it is in solos. Solos is you've got your health bar and you've got your shield bar. Once those are gone, you're done. Now, honestly, there are a ton of gold knockdown shields throughout the map, an insane amount, but in all honesty, it's not going to help you any because if you don't die immediately, your enemy knows that you have a gold knockdown shield. I've probably picked up, let's say, 10, 15 gold knockdown shields in the games that I've played, and I think I have successfully rezzed 0 times. People always know, and it's just another damage, just another damage sponge for them. So definitely pick it up, but don't be banking on it or relying on it. You're definitely going to want to set your shields, and you're definitely going to obviously keep your health up. When it comes down to shields, man, after your gunfight, you're going to win your gunfight. All right, there's no question, because when you approach that gunfight, you're going to make sure you get in a comfortable position. You're going to know the weapons that you choose. Choose weapons that are comfortable with you, but also know your enemy's weapons if you can. Know what the strengths of your weapons. For example, I like to run with an R99. I know I've got you in short range, but I know if you've got a Peacekeeper, I need to be on point with my aim. Otherwise, I'm going to eat a lot of bullets. Because again, you don't go down, you die. So you have to be honest. So you need to open the attack. This isn't the type of game anymore where you run around and you just run away from people who are shooting at you. You have to fire back. You have to shoot at them. You need to be the attacker. You don't need to be the defender. If you're the attacker, more than likely you're going to win. It's really about whoever's, boom, on point first, and then it all comes down to your aim. If you've got a bit of potato aim, make sure you select a gun that works well for you. You don't want to do a weapon that's going to have a slow rate of fire, or a weapon that's going to, take time to charge up. Like for me personally, the Devotion is an awful weapon because I already have potato. All right, I don't need my gun to be potato-y too. If you need a base weapon that has a good stats, the R301 is still good. R99 is my baby. The Prowler works really well because now you're talking bullet damage. The Prowler, your flatline Hemlock works wonderfully in solos because it's and then they're done. And especially with now the low profile buffs happening and everything, and technically I would call it a nerf on some of these characters. Now, Wraith and Lifeline and Pathfinder, they're taking, an extra damage, so now their bullet, the bullet's normally going to do like 20 damage or so, it's doing 25, so pop, 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 and then they're done. That's another reason why you want to be, really thoughtful when you pick your character too. You want to keep at least a decent health pool. Now you pick the character that you're good with, and that that really fits your play style. But you also have to remember, man, it's your health versus their health. And as soon as you knock that person down and take them out of the game, you need to loot that box faster than you've ever looted a box before, because you hear your gunfire. I promise you, everyone else that's currently on the map hears your gunfire. And if you thought third partying was bad, in solo queues, you're going to get third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth party. You're going to get shot up. That is like the perfect moment for someone to swoop in and clean up the kills so they can take whatever you had and take whatever the guy you just killed had. So what I do, I don't worry about recharging my shields. Obviously, in a fight, recharge those shields as soon as you can, because again, it's your health. You want to, if you're unloading a clip and your enemy unloads a clip, make sure to get reloaded, reposition, get your shields back up, and then push them. But at the same time, if you've got your enemy on the ropes, push them, make them freak. Keep them on their toes. If they've got that battery and they're charging their battery up, hey man, you've got a free kill right there, because it's going to take them a couple seconds. Timing is everything. You want to spend the least amount of time shooting them, but being the most effective that you can. Once you take them out, don't even worry about recharging your shields unless you have a better shield than them. Otherwise, get in that loot box, pick up their shield, and get out of dodge. Normally, with all of this stuff, there's so much loot out there on the battlefield, so you've got no problem finding what you need, so you don't really have to be in boxes too much. So you should really get in the box, get what you need, and get out, because there's probably somebody crawling and coming after you. Now, if you hear a sniper, if you're not a sniper, find out where that sniper is, and don't go running out in the middle of everywhere. Find out where he is, and then just move away from him. Make him come down for that perch. Don't push him. That's a good reason personally for me to run Bangalore, is because now you can throw that barrage or Gibraltar and they have to reposition themselves. Make all of your enemies, all of your opponents uncomfortable. If you stay comfortable and you make them uncomfortable and you just stay on point while they're freaking out, you're going to win most of your matches. Now, whenever you get into one of those gunfights, you want to make sure that you're constantly moving. All right? You don't want to be that guy who just stands there and shoots at the enemy, because I guarantee you, the people who are going to win, the people that are going to be in the top 10 every time you go in, they're going to be moving. So unless you catch them off guard and take them out before they even see you, if it's a face-to-face fight, they're going to be hopping around, they're going to be sliding, they're going to be crouching. You need to do the same thing. You need to get comfortable with moving, and moving while firing. Don't always ADS. use that hip fire some. If your guns still work pretty well, just hip firing. But just be aware. Be aware of your movements. Be aware of what you're doing. Make sure that you're moving at the same time while you're firing. Make yourself a harder target. Because if you can't aim and your enemy can aim and you're just standing there, you're probably going to lose that fight. So to recap everything, you want to make sure to have an operator that you're comfortable with, yet one that is effective. You want to make sure that you have weapons that you are comfortable with, yet that are effective. And you want to make sure that you take the fight to your enemy. Don't wait for them. Take it to them. And when they're weak, push them. Even if you're weak, push them. Because their first instinct is going to be, oh man, I need to heal. So let's take them out. And always remember to move. So have a good operator, a comfortable gun, and a good gun. And then make sure your movement is comfortable and on point. And don't land in any crazy places. But at the same time, don't be afraid to kind of go to what places that would normally be popular in the regular Apex mode, because a lot of people are now, it's kind of like ranked, they're going off into these unknown little areas, and then you wind up running into people. Now if it's one-on-one, cool, but if you land in an area like artillery, there's 4 or 5 guys there, you better believe you're going to get partied up. So just remember that. And remember, know your enemy, okay? If you know there's going to be campers out there, and you know there's going to be snipers out there, so don't go running out in the middle of the field just waiting to get shot, okay? But at the same time, don't go inside every building, because there's probably some little guy just hunkered down in a corner waiting for you to make the turn, and he's going to unleash on a peacekeeper. So just know what you're doing and always be thinking ahead. Don't just run around without a purpose. Make sure you have a purpose in whatever you're doing. If you're going to shoot at this guy, you're going to kill this guy. So don't just shoot at him from afar to spook him off, because he's going to turn around and laser you. So make sure that you're on point with whatever weapon you have, and you know the distance, and you know the advantages of your weapon, and you keep your opponent there. And make sure you don't put yourself in a situation to where your opponent has the advantage. And if you ever do get in a situation where your opponent has the advantage, don't freak out. Keep pushing and keep trying to win. Keep trying to kill them. Who knows? Sometimes you get lucky. You could easily kill them. But if you don't, there's always next round. Let me know down in the comments below some tips and ideas that you guys might think of that I haven't thought of, and some things that have helped you. And if you could, like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a whole lot. Thanks for stopping by.